Welcome to Decoding the Data Ecosystem, a podcast with valuable insights, inspiring stories, and practical advice to guide you on your journey through the world of omics research and how the NIH Common Fund data ecosystem can support that journey. I'm your host, Dr. Allissa Dillman, and I'm the Training and Engagement Director of the CFDE Training Center. My background's in bioinformatics, and I've been working in bioinformatics and data science training and engagement space for almost the past 15 years. I'm really passionate about lowering the barriers of entry for these fields through creative engagement activities such as these podcasts. Now let's get to the show. Hello and welcome to this month's episode. In today's brief yet insightful recording, we discussed the CFDE Training Center and shared an overview of our plans for the next 6 months. This presentation was originally part of a larger half-day webinar focused on the Common Fund data ecosystem. Be sure to check out the show notes for the link to the full webinar.
But hi, I'm Jennifer Burnette. I'm the project director for the CFDE Training Center. We are one of the newer centers, so we started in around September 2024, so fall of last year. I work for ORAU, or Oak Ridge Associated Universities, and we've partnered with BioDataSage for this training center. So getting into the training center goals, you've heard a lot about the different CFD partnerships that go on across the centers and all the funded programs like the DCCs. And one of the goals of the training center is to coordinate with all of those partners to meet the training needs that you all as the end users have. Something else that we look to do is support directly current and potential learners that are engaging with CFD data, and ultimately expand the CFD data user base. And with that, we want to enhance confidence and complexity of the data set usage. So we're starting to get some of our branding in place for the center, and we've landed on a tagline of decoding the data ecosystem. So even though we've only been stood up for a few months now, we are currently either actively producing some training things or very close to launching. So we're going to talk about several of those today. So the first one I want to talk about is the mentoring program pilot. I want to emphasize the planning is in process with this one. However, what we're looking to establish is a 10-week virtual program during the summer of 2025, where we're going to pilot essentially engaging mentee teams, a faculty PI, and a student at a university to partner with a mentor at one of the data coordinating centers or another mentor that is working closely with CFD data. So we're really looking to emphasize that this is likely a mentee team that's probably already working together. We do look to offer a stipend for the team that's going to participate, but it's not going to be something that would fund your entire summer, for instance. So it's really kind of an extra supplement and an interesting way to engage with some new data that you maybe would not have otherwise. So if you're interested or want more information about it, we are going to start recruiting for our mentee teams in February, March of this year. So just in a couple of weeks, couple of months for those mentee teams. So if you're interested, we'd love to have an email from you. The other thing I want to talk about is our podcast. It is called Decoding the Data Ecosystem, so we just leaned into our tagline. Noelle was our first guest on the podcast, so that was great to have the Knowledge Center represented in our very first one. The goal with the podcast is really just to give a venue for a much more casual conversation about omics research and deep diving into some of those things that you may not get into if you're taking a training or keeping things more high level. And Dr. Allissa Dillman, who's on here with us today, is the host of the podcast. So she is going to be the one that you'll hear in all the podcast episodes, and then we'll have rotating guests talking about a lot of different omics related topics. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Allissa to talk a little bit more about our other opportunities and things that we're doing. Allissa?
So we are also working on a monthly how-to seminar. Right now, they are currently on Vimeo. We have 2 that are currently released, genomics and transcriptomics. The idea behind sort of these first year of how-tos is to really build a foundational knowledge on these different omics types, and then to point to where you can work with these omics types in CFDE. So kind of connecting sort of the biology, the technology, and the data sets. Once we've got a good foundational set of how-tos that kind of guide through some of the basics of genomics and transcriptomics, spatial and single cell, epigenetics, proteomics, and things like that, we will definitely be working with the Quick when they have their cloud platform up to do more technical deep dives into sort of more hands-on how-tos, with the idea that we can then look back or reference back to those foundational how-tos to sort of build a nice training path. Yes, and like I said, we're on Vimeo, so if you want to check that out, you can go to Vimeo and do CFDE Training Center. Next slide. However, we do want to create a much more interactive experience with all of the materials that we're generating, but also potentially things that other CFDE DCCs are generating in terms of training. So we're actually working on a learner dashboard, which will have a wide array of training modules. And the idea is that we're going to use this platform as a way to engage with both beginning users, because there'll be a lot of interactive features, quizzes, knowledge checks, hands-on exercises, and things that are very interactive. But we can also point to much more complex training modules, such as what might end up in the Quick. So that way that we can sort of help learners again with that learning path. And things will be tagged based on their complexity, based on their omics focus, and other things like that, with the idea that this is going to be sort of a landing space for all things training, so they don't have to kind of pop into all different places. This is still very much a work in progress, but we're hopeful that we'll have this out in spring of this year. Next slide. If you want to engage with us sort of in a much more creative way, where you get to bring your expertise and resources and data to the table, we're actually going to be at the BioIT World Conference. We're doing a fair hackathon, and the idea is, we're really interested in bringing CFDE data sets and tools and things like that, but also having you all bringing in your data and tools that we can sort of integrate and interoperate on, and see how all of that works together in a fair ecosystem. So if you have ideas about a project, you can pitch it at the website link there. However, if you're a little more interested in just participating in the next slide, you can also just join a team. So if you're really interested in just seeing and learning more and having real, true hands-on, activities, there'll be a whole bunch of different kinds of projects that we will have available that you can participate in. We're really going to have partners all throughout CFDE, and all of you and technical people and scientific people, so you can really kind of build interesting things and test things out. But yeah, we'll be that the hackathon again is in BioIT World in Boston, April 1st and 2nd. Next slide. But yeah, that's the training center. Please reach out if you have any questions about any of the things we've presented. Thank you so much for listening.
You have been listening to Decoding the Data Ecosystem, a CFDE Training Center podcast. Be sure to check out our other episodes in this series. Find out more information about CFDE data and tools that may be valuable to your research by visiting our website.